Meantime, mortgage rates falling to their lowest level since February 2023. Rates falling for more than 0.5% over the last 6 weeks, according to Freddie Mac. But the uphill battle for prospective buyers far from over. Joining us now is Realtor.com chief economist Danielle Hale. Danielle, always good to have you on the show. Looking at Mortgage News Daily here, Danielle, they say the 30-year fixed, they say 6.15. Where do you think it is, Danielle, 6 months from now, 12 months from now? What's the trajectory look like?
I think it's definitely lower. The question is how much lower. I think as the Fed starts to cut rates, widely expected that they'll begin to do that next week, we'll see some additional tailwinds for mortgage rates to move lower as interest rates normalize, more broadly speaking. We know that consumers are aware of this trend. In fact, a survey high response of consumers expect mortgage rates to go lower over the next 12 months. And so I think while there's some reason for shoppers to get into the market today to take advantage of the rate drop we've seen so far, there is likely to be greater reason to get into the market as we move into next year and mortgage rates are even lower.
You know, they're not moving much quite yet, Danielle. And something else that is not improving is housing affordability. I was looking at a measure from the Atlanta Fed that looks at this housing affordability issue. And as you can see, it's still pretty low. I mean, even if rates are improving somewhat at the margin here. So, of course, it's not just about rates. It's about pricing. It's about availability. It's about supply, all of that stuff. Is that big picture going to get any better?
Yeah, so I do think the rate picture is going to improve. Prices on the asking side of the ledger have been relatively stable over the last year, but sales prices have continued to move up as we see more expensive homes selling and less expensive homes kind of taking longer to sell in this market environment than we've seen traditionally. So there's a bit of shift going on in what's selling. And that does reflect the challenges that buyers of more affordably priced homes are facing. Another component of that affordability triangle is incomes. And the labor market has been really strong, and that has created a lot of income growth that has helped buyer incomes catch up to these higher prices and be able to finance them at higher mortgage rates. And if that continues, that could be a nice tailwind for buyers as well. But as we know, the labor market is starting to soften. And so that is another potential risk factor as we move into 2025. But on net, I think the labor market is going to continue to grow. We're going to see some income stability, if not the same level of growth as we've seen over the last couple of years. And that will help buyers better navigate still high costs and with a nice mortgage rate tailwind to go alongside that.
Danielle, let's talk politics, which I'm sure you're really excited to talk about with me. But Kamala Harris made some headlines, and it was provocative. It was interesting. This idea of $25,000 tax credit, Danielle, to cover the down payment costs for first-time home buyers. As an economist, walk me through how you're thinking about that. Good idea, bad idea, something in between. What do you think?
I think it's a mixed bag. So we know affordability is a challenge. It's especially the case for potential first-time home buyers who, by definition, don't own a home right now and haven't been able to benefit from the rapid accumulation of equity that homeowners have enjoyed as home prices have gone up. So it does help equalize the playing field for first-time home buyers against potential repeat buyers. At the same time, the big picture in housing is still that we don't have enough homes for sale and we haven't built enough homes to keep up with population. And so this tax credit juices demand, but does not necessarily help on the supply side unless builders respond to it as well. And I think that's a bit of an open question. But in addition to the tax credit, she's also talked about trying to increase affordable housing construction, and that certainly will help on the supply side. So I think it's helpful, but it's important to take a balanced approach and not just focus on the buy side, but pay attention to the supply side when we're trying to think about the housing market moving forward.
Danielle, great to see you. Thank you.
Absolutely.